Hi, welcome to our reading for Monday, the 2nd of January, 2017. Remember, it's a general reading, so see what feels right for you, see which signs, symbols, bells, whistles, messages, energies resonate for you and bring you clarity to what you're wondering, concerned, confused, inquiring, dreaming, and praying about. We're all children of God. We're all psychic. We're not all going through the same thing at the same time, at the same pace. So see what feels right for you. It could be one sign and that brings you clarity. It could be the whole reading. It could make sense later. In the end, always use your logic and intuition together to make sound decisions based in love for the highest, greatest good of everybody. So we're all uplifted in love. See how it feels for you. How you ride these energetic waves that come through here is always up to you. Is it your wave? Is it not your wave? Are you waiting for another wave? Preparing for that wave? Crashing into the wave? Riding the wave? Or ignoring the wave? Also, feel free to make this an interactive video if you want to pull some cards for yourself. And if you have some time, try to check out the musical playlist below. See if there's more depth to this reading for you and the lyrics and the music, or just enjoy the music. Thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys, and I'll see you in a moment for the reading. Hi, welcome to our reading for Monday, the 2nd of January, 2017. Now, I know I always put a date at the beginning of my readings, but I feel like I should explain why my uploads are consistent but pretty unusual in their time. So I work a pretty unusual schedule. Just so y'all know, I lived almost 20 years in Manhattan and I still work there, which is how I'm able to do these videos and have it not feel like work. So I just have to go with my own schedule and the flow of when these readings want to come through, because sometimes I want to do a reading and it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. So I just have to be patient and wait for the timing of when it flows. And I trust that even if mine is the one that comes through late, maybe there needed to be a change in energy first before that energy before it was time to come through. So I just have learned to go with the flow, and I really appreciate you guys being so understanding with my weird schedule, and just know that I would rather be like in tune with the day than be pre-recorded too far ahead. I sometimes go a day or two ahead if I have to, but I prefer to be more in line with the day so that it's more consistent with the actual energies going on, or at least the change that has come through from maybe other readings that you've seen, so that you can get something else. So if you see me early, it's like a surprise to us all. I'm pretty consistent, but maybe expect it to be a little bit later than the norm. All right, so that being said, let's get going with the reading for the day. I'm going to start with the Manera Tarot today. Let's see what God, Source, Holy Spirit, our higher self, angels, and energies of love have for the highest, greatest good of all. Let's get clarity and focus on the energy coming through for the day, and wisdom for us all to ride these energies best. Let's start with one card. And get some wisdom for Monday, the 2nd of January, 2017. I have to get used to saying that. All right, let's get one card to help us out for the day. One card, highest, greatest good of all. Oh my, we're starting with the Emperor. All right, so this is taking charge of a situation, like big time security, stability, organization. I hear independence, but that makes me think of freedom. So, finding a freedom in your independent resolutions, solutions, communications, relationships, taking charge of something today. This is taking charge, and energies around you are, I mean, she's bowing down, you know, or she's like surrendering. So there's a surrender that's, I want to say, a desirable surrender, if that makes sense. There's something that has been needing you to take charge of something, that has been waiting for you to take charge of something. I don't feel like it's a yes sir, you know, kind of thing at all. I'm not getting, although, you know, if this is an emperor, so this could be a male energy, but it's that emperor in you, girls, ladies, you know, it's in all of us to be this emperor sometimes. It's also in all of us to sometimes have to surrender or want to surrender to something, you know, that's helping us understand something, gain our own security, stability with something, our own, I hear foundation, like foundation. I just see dirt all of a sudden, but he's coming out of the ocean. Rock, she's sitting on a rock by the ocean, but there are like I see pillars like on the mountainside by the emperor, but it also makes me think of Egypt, and it also makes me think of the Grand Canyon for some reason. Like, it makes me think of, when I look at this, I know this is really weird, but here it makes me think of where they supposedly, one of the stories, if you look in old newspaper, where they found ancient Egyptian like statues and all kinds of things in some cave up high, maybe off, I hear Snake River, I could be wrong. That's what came through, off of a river somewhere in the Grand Canyon, and they found all this ancient Egyptian things in the Grand Canyon. That's what I just thought of with this. So maybe that's important to somebody, or, you know, I think it's an old story, so that's sort of hard because you have to go back into like, you know, newspaper clippings, and then there's always like, he said, she said, that's not real, that was this, blah, blah, blah stuff. So it's hard to do research on something that perhaps is, you know, somewhere we can't actually go. But maybe something with Egypt, or I'm hearing hieroglyphs, or history, or hidden history, or covered history. That makes me think of all of the stone walls under the canopy of the eastern United States, under the trees, in backyards, in the woods. There's enough to like circle the globe 7 times or something like that, and it's just completely ignored. Completely ignored. That's one of my little spots that gets me. So maybe the walls underneath the canopy of the East Coast of the United States is important, or all of the architecture that's in different areas, Connecticut, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, West Virginia, all the way down. But I'm getting like East Coast, you know. There's a lot of dolmens and megaliths and huge ancient things that are just ignored, and they're right there like on nature trails and such. So maybe that's important. Maybe somebody is like literally thinking about doing something like that and investigating something like the Appalachian Trail, something like that, where you can go somewhere and actually see for yourself all of these things that are there. Perhaps I'm like, you know, like I'm just, there's a lot of them that get to me, that are put out there, and I mean really get to me, where I go and I'm like, how are people not questioning how this huge, huge megalithic obelisk is put here when there's one in Central Park only a quarter of the size that costs billions of dollars to get there, and then in the woods there are ones 4 times that size that were there for meditation purposes. I'm just going to say that and leave that there. So maybe it's discovering something, taking action upon something, doing something for yourself instead of relying on newspaper clippings. So I'm just hearing hidden in plain sight, and that can go so many different ways and so many different subjects depending on what you're into. What is your subject? Maybe it's discovering the truth, speaking the truth, finding the truth. I'm getting the truth. But I'm also getting a relationship. So if this is not history or something you're into and opening the book on something, writing about something, I'm even getting writing, you know, doing research, going somewhere and doing it yourself rather than relying on maybe a lot of nonsense or fear mongering or bullshit. You know, if someone's afraid of you to discover something, there's going to be some bullshit where there's some truth, you know, always, because then they're hoping you resonate with just enough of that truth that you believe all the bullshit. So you have to have your own discernment here, big time with the Emperor, to discern what is bullshit and what is truth. And navigate inside of yourself to that truth bullshit meter and go to the truth and speak your truth and be that truth in you and everything you do. And you'll find that things that were, you felt overpowering before or didn't want to budge before are understanding you. I don't want to say surrendering you. I want to just, I feel like it's a merging with your energy and a converging somehow. So I'm getting you having a conversation. I hear opening up. So either you're opening up to something inside of you and that's going to bring you this stability, something you thought that was vulnerable before that made you exposed and naked and sitting there like a little scared little girl, is actually going to empower you. It's your vulnerabilities. It's your connections with others that are realistic. It's not the Emperor coming through like a big, powerful man or woman saying, this is like this because of this, and that's how it is. It could be, this person could be just a stubborn asshole. Not budging, not wanting to open it, not wanting to open up, not wanting to move, not wanting to see past what they want. But then that's ego, and that's not a good Emperor. And that Emperor is just going to go through some lessons where they learn how, when they open up and connect with what everybody wants, along with what's good for them, first they have to take care of themselves first, you know. But this Emperor is best when they go out and they understand what their kingdoms are going through. They don't just have one kingdom. This Emperor is not just the fire, earth, air, water kingdom. It's all of them. All of these royal families, all of the people need to connect to this Emperor to have stability and to have things flow and to see the organization. It's up to this person, you, or this could be someone you know. You know, this could be someone with really good advice coming on through. Or you could see that somebody really wants to do something their own way, and you just need to surrender to whatever that situation is. And if that situation is not good for you and it's not going to budge, it's up to you to become this Emperor and to move away and to do what's good for you, whatever it is. So it's adjusting your position as the Emperor, adjusting your focus, taking off the damn blinders, you know? This could be someone else, like literally taking off their blinders and understanding what they have to do to have structure. How maybe it's not about the plans they had before or what they were told had to be something. Or maybe this Emperor just had to see how it all had to work and pan out in natural timing. You know, I mean, I'm getting natural time like this. You know, when you're the Emperor, things happen. Kingdoms have things that go on and there's always changes. It's never going to be something, the same thing all the time. So the Emperor has to adjust to have ultimate structure, to have a good flow with that building, you know, that building process. Each is a level. I'm getting like a staircase, or like I'm seeing like blocks, you know, go up. But even though the Emperor is a blocky energy, you have to see it with, you have to have that feminine energy somewhere and at least look at how to build something in structure from spinning around, you know, with that feminine energy that's a little bit exposed, a little bit understanding, connecting and receptive to everything on the clock, maybe like a clock, you know, that's a circle or I guess you could have a square clock, but, you know, but spinning it around and looking at every situation so that you can have the best structure going up. If you're only looking at something at 2 o'clock, you know, I'm seeing like 2 o'clock at 8 o'clock for some reason. I don't know where that came from. So all the time, then you're missing all, you know, you're missing the other parts of the pie somewhere. So you have to put attention to each piece of the pie, and perhaps each piece of your pie is not blocked out the same way within the day or whatever, but you do what you have to do as things arise. I just keep seeing this emperor like going into the kingdom and talking to people and doing things and just kind of like communicating. But he's coming out of the water, so he's coming out of something emotional, and he has a big sword of truth that is being just held gently, almost like justice, but like calm and strong. But his sword is relaxed at the moment. You know, so you're resting on something with clarity of thought. All right, so that's a really powerful emperor. If I did not mention, that's also Major Arcana 4. Usually male energy. Sometimes it could be like an Aries energy, the first. You know, the one to do it different, one to break through, the one to lead, take control, have, I hear willpower, but I hear situation, just situation. I'm not sure what that means. Let's get another card from the Deviant Moon for Monday on the Emperor. Queen of Wands. So, this is your stability, you know. I'm seeing like plans, like understanding the bigger picture, but being able to bring that back to home and to like sit down and make the plans for yourself. This is always what's good for you first. So even if it's advice, it's bringing you back to home on what's good with you, what you need to expose and what you need to be strong with. The Queen of Wands, I mean, this could be a fire sign, so Aries, it could be an Aries, Sagittarius, Leo energy, someone you know. This could be a couple. This could be the Queen of Wands and the Emperor. The Emperor's coming through to help the Queen of Wands, or the Queen of Wands is that support system, maybe home. I'm getting like, I'm getting support, but I'm hearing like sexy. So maybe she's bringing some sexy into the mix, some like confidence, maybe confidence at home that's making the rest of the kingdom move when this emperor has to go out and make some decisions. Or that could go either way, you know. Whatever's coming through in your home, your kingdom's home base, you know, your security coming from inside of you and what you do is bringing you confidence somewhere. Or this confidence is coming through somewhere as a support to inspire you. So I'm hearing like confidence, sassy, sexy, stability, security, independent. You know, the Queen of Wands is a really nice energy. Passionate. It's like she gives passion, but she kind of wants some passion back. You know, she doesn't want to just talk about that road trip and have you not come. You know, otherwise she could get kind of, I'm getting like sour, like a sourpuss, like almost like a crybaby, but not really too emotional. Just like, oh, come on. Like, what's wrong with you? Don't you want to come? You know, maybe a little pushy, but because she's like desiring something, like she wants some, not necessarily attention. I'm getting companionship, like buddies in crime or something like that, you know, like on the same side. Like this card is really weird. And it's like you're turning to one side. You're doing something together. She has 4 arms. So 1, 2, 3, 4 arms. And technically only 1 leg exposed. And 2 boobs on one side, on her left side. That's sort of weird. So that just blanked me out, just so you know. So I'm going to move along to the Guardian Angel Tarot and get clarity on the Queen of Wands, the Emperor, for Monday the 2nd. Let's get clarity on the Queen of Wands. I feel like somehow this inspiration, I mean, that she could be the one that recognizes your talents, that inspires you in some way, that fuels your spiritual fire or your passionate fire or your energies in some way that make your spirit move to get something going, to do something right, to make it happen, to know that you're, I mean, the Empress is a makeup of all of the different signs, but the Queen of Wands is the one with the confidence, the passion, the drive, but she doesn't need to do much. I feel like the Queen of Wands has that natural attraction going on, you know, that natural magnetism going on, that she doesn't need to be pushy. You know, she could be, but she needs to understand she doesn't need to be. She's attractive enough. She's magnetic enough. She's unique and special enough to have whatever energy needs to come to her, come to her. You know, I always think of like that, the lion or the cat energy, just sort of like waiting, you know, and they can, you know, pounce and do what they need to when they have to, but I feel like their power is just in their energy. You just know that they're the queen or the king. So maybe you just need to really have some confidence today with your passions, with your projects, with what you need to say, with what you need to do, with where you need to move, what you need to talk about when you're inspired in a conversation with somebody and that conversation flows. Go with that flow. See where I'm getting like adventure. So if you have a conversation and you think about going somewhere, maybe go. Maybe somebody's coming through to get on board with you, or it's up to you to get in the driver's seat and make it happen on your own. Let's get clarity. Let's see what else comes through for the Queen of Wands and the Emperor. Information or somebody coming in to help you take those passions you have and make them more organized. And then you have the 10 of emotion. So that's like the 10 of cups. This is really nice. But there has to be a reality check when the 10 of cups comes in. It's understanding that reality in the 10, it's a transition as well. The 10 of emotion is, it's happily ever after, which looks beautiful, you know, if you just open the book and you see that page, but who knows what happened in that storybook to get to that page, that happily ever after. And you have to make sure it's, you know, not just the cartoon and it's happily ever after, and then you don't ever hear what, that just made me think of Into the Woods. You don't ever hear what happens when that storybook closes to, you know, the reader's eyes. There's a real story there, you know. I really like Into the Woods, by the way. Maybe I'll find something from that. So you have to realize it's a real family, a real situation, and real things happen, and it's not all about the storybook, fairy tale, la ending, you know. Then maybe you wake up the next day, it's raining, you're late to work, you know, Cinderella can't find her other shoe, and now the house is a mess. So it's understanding all those different emotions in a family. Usually it's a family. So in this card, usually it's like the husband and the wife and the kids and the rainbow and the chalices and the birds are flying and it's beautiful and everything looks beautiful. But it takes zooming in. And what if you're one of those little kids and then, you know, something happens and they start fighting with their sibling right after that snapshot was taken for that card, and then the parents are like, hey, it's okay, you know, it's a real situation. It's a real emotional experience. It's understanding your emotional fulfillment in the now that you have, the page that you're on, going into that person that you are in that situation, that page that you're in, and seeing how it is a journey. You know, there was a whole story before this moment that you were on, different emotions, different pages, different relationships, different situations, and it all brought you to this point where you can get yourself back in the driver's seat with this confidence. And even if you're feeling vulnerable and a little bit exposed, understand that everything you were exposed to was to bring you this confidence in the page you're on now, what you need to do now, you know, with who's around you now. I hear gratitude now with what you have. You know, there's always going to be a different page, a different day, you know, another energy coming through. And you're now in the position where you're in a different, I feel like you open something up, or somebody opens something up around you. So like you're in the driver's seat, but it's like I'm getting like, I don't know, like a 360 degree view with like this is so, sometimes I see really weird things. That just brought me, by the way, I just thought of Flight of the Navigator. That's an 80s movie that just, wow, that came out of nowhere. Flight of the Navigator, which made me thinking, round, round, get around, I get around, I get up. I'll put that below if I can find it. So understanding everything that you had to go through so you can have fun on your ride, you know, so it doesn't always feel like it's work, you know, so so you understand how you're here for this experience. And you can have like maybe like a boost. Maybe you were on the ground stuck in traffic before, and now this new start, I mean, it's a 10. So it's understanding something in a new light, a new perspective, given something new, a new understanding, to fly a new direction, you know, to build something really, really strong this time. So you're definitely ending something with this 10. It could be ending a perspective, ending a dynamic, a relationship, something that wasn't working, and boosting yourself up with some confidence to move somewhere better that you feel really, really, really good about. You have to feel good about this. It's emotionally good, but it takes you understanding all of that you went through and that realistic story that you had, and using it as a strength to boost you up. I just keep seeing Flight of the Navigator. I don't know if all of you know that movie, but maybe check it out. Wow, that just made me think of another movie that I haven't seen in a long time. It was called The Boy Who Could Fly. Sometimes weird things come through. I hope that is helpful for you guys, or maybe if you're wanting to check out weird kids 1980s movies, those are two for you. So 10 of emotion. There's like a whole family here getting on in this tiny car, like a clown car, in the city, going on a trip, going somewhere all together, like a real road trip. Maybe the kids are yelling, your aunt's there, your grandma's there, or maybe it's just you and someone else, or just you going somewhere, maybe leaving energy, going towards a lot of energy. Usually it makes you feel warm, like a family, like you have people or energies around you that are familiar, or put you on a familiar path that you love. So, all right, life is a blessing. Life is blessing you with a wonderful and loving family. Great happiness and emotional fulfillment are now on the horizon. Harmony with those you love is assured. By offering forgiveness, understanding, and kindness to others, you're rewarded with unconditional love. Okay, so that just made me think of that storybook. And if you zoom in on whoever you are, you know, in your particular situation, and say there's others in that picture with you at that moment, you don't always understand where anyone else's, you know, chapters were coming from before they came onto your page. So try to understand that somebody else has a whole journey, a whole book, you know, a whole life before whatever came together with you. And when they leave that moment with you, they're out on their own, you know, trying to have independence and security and stability and harmony and organization and everything in their own life, and using their own passions and trying to find confidence. Some days we're just not confident. You know, things happen around us. Shit breaks down. We just don't feel good. What else? You know, it just, sometimes our confidence is low. Sometimes our emotions are low. Sometimes our emotions are high. Sometimes, you know, our feelings are exposed and on our sleeve, and sometimes we're in complete control of them and nobody knows what happened. You know, I hear stone face for some reason. So, you know, sometimes somebody could be really emotional inside and just have to feel like they have to handle, they have to be the boss, they have to be the dad, they have to be the mom, they have to do their job, you know, they have to just do what they have to do, regardless of how, you know, maybe not confident they feel or the emotions that they're coming from, and they just have to do it. So, and sometimes, you know, you need to be a little more emotional and exposed, flexible. You know, so okay, I hear stone face again. Maybe stones, that makes me think of queens of the Stone Age, but no one knows. No one knows. And I also went to AUDIOSLAVE, like a stone. So I'll put that below. It was like 2 different things coming through. So I'm, all right, let's. And then I heard Papa was a rolling stone. I'm getting like stone. Then I'm hearing like stone. Maybe stone is important, or something about a stone. Getting something secure, solid. Memory. It makes me think of memory and quartz. Makes me think of jaw stone. So, maybe just the name stone, or not sure. I hope that's meaningful for you guys. Maybe that'll come through later. Let's pull another card. Let's go to the daily guidance from your angels, oracle cards on the 10 of Emotions, Queen of Wands, and the Emperor. I feel like her, it's almost like an arrow or a dagger or a scepter, or like a, yeah, like, it's like a, I'm gonna say like a catapult. It's not that, like the jousting stick. Is that what it is? I could be wrong, but like she has it sort of secure, almost more like a walking stick. And then when I look at the knife on the top, it makes me think of clarity, you know, moving towards the moon, which is emotion, you know, so piercing something emotional with some clarity, and that's bringing you some stability. I hope that made sense. I'm not exactly sure what I just said, but I feel like it has to do with being secure and grounded, you know, as you move with something, rather than at edge, or like maybe on, not on defense, you know, just secure with yourself. There's no need to defend anything here. It's up to you to be solid on something and to just sort of use some clarity of thought to tap into something that was emotional before. I hope that made sense. All right, let's get another card for Monday. Be honest with yourself. So look into your heart and you will know the truth of this situation. What situation do you think of first? You know, maybe it's, the answer is not outside here. Maybe it is. It's understanding that you have to maybe forgive someone else, forgive a situation, forgive yourself. You know, maybe you're just learning, you know, going through something to give you a different perspective, to put you like in the position. I'm just seeing, like, if the Emperor doesn't go out, or the Queen of Wands doesn't go out and experience that lack of passion, or that I'm getting like a desert. I'm getting a desert again, like back to the desert, but this time I don't see the Grand Canyon. I just see a desert and then like a tumbleweed going across, and that's it. Just like nothing. The wind blows. So maybe waiting for the winds of change to come, you know, something to come along and change your head or turn your head and bring you a different direction. So maybe there needed to be a dry spell or something to bring you an understanding, or maybe just a rest in something so you could get your fires moving. It could have just been a break, you know, in something. Maybe a break even in emotion, so that you could have a little bit of detachment and then get back in the driver's seat and then, you know, continue to move forward with confidence. Understand it was all not, I keep getting that it wasn't for, I think I got that for Capricorn in the thing that it's okay. You're going to feel like it's at the end, it's like it wasn't for nothing kind of thing. So whatever you feel like you're going to, I feel like that feeling is going to come through and bring you a big understanding. Like, I get it. That was shitty, or this was shitty, but I see your position now, or I see my position now, and I get that it wasn't for nothing. Like, now I see what it's like to be in that pair of shoes or this situation, and now I know what to do when this situation happens around me because I've been there, not because I could just talk about it, or I read about it, or I saw it somewhere on TV, because you actually went through it, and that makes you actually a good emperor, actually have confidence and feel like you're in charge, even with your emotions. You know, because you've been there, not because you're like, oh, that's nice, you know, and we need to do this. Because no, like, I get it. We need to take care of this because now I see, or I didn't see before, or now I've been there and I understand. So I think I got sidetracked with this. It's safe to admit the truth to yourself, for we will support and guide you through any necessary changes. Lean upon us for courage and the strength to take care of yourself. Focus only upon your true desires, and they'll come to you upon angels' wings. So start with you. I mean, the Emperor is the I am energy. It starts with the I am energy, and then the I am energy, you know, allowing a transition, a change in emotions, in direction, in communication, in forgiveness, and I'm getting like conversation, you know, maybe to be a little vulnerable in a situation, and it brings back confidence in a relationship, a situation where you are, I hear the pants you're in or not in, you know. It's almost like she has like this, it makes me think of like a belly dancing skirt that's made of like leaves or something like that for some reason. All right, so the truth. So is there something, when this card comes up, it's there's something that you're not wanting to see, or somebody around you is not wanting to see, and there needs to be clarity, but it starts within seeing that situation in clarity, in reality, not in the storybook. You know, so you can move forward in reality and make it more like a beautiful storybook, because you're more in tune with what's going on. You're more in charge with writing those words and coloring in those colors, rather than letting it just go by you, you know? And focus upon only your true desires, and they'll come you on angels' wings. So it makes me think of feathers too, in like something gentle and divine timing. So allow divine timing to come in. Get yourself in the driver's seat with something, but be open to however it needs to come through. Because I feel like when messages come through, I mean, they could be pretty bold, but I feel like it's more of a gentle nudge, a gentle turn, a gentle understanding. There's always more of a gentleness and a gentle healing energy towards you too. You know, understand that you sometimes have to be gentle with yourself, and we all mess up, you know, and have that gentle energy with yourself first. It's like, you know, even if, I mean, it's hard to say. Sometimes people do really shitty things to us, or really shitty things happen. We're really pissed off. We had to go through it. You know, sucks. But if you hold on to that and you don't offer forgiveness for yourself and others, you're just giving it more power, and you're just holding on to that negative energy and not allowing yourself to fly and feel release. So you have to let go. You have to let go sometimes. And it's forgiving and releasing, and it brings you back in power for yourself and what you actually want to do. You know, what you actually want to pursue, what you actually want to have in your life, because you understand what you don't. So don't keep dragging the shit you don't. All right. One more card. Una más. We're going to go to the Oracle of Visions and sum up this reading. This is a long one. So while you're here, I was thinking about what to do with the beginning of January. And every time like I turn on YouTube, there are so many amazing readings that everybody has done for 2017. And it sort of makes me feel fidgety and itchy. And I basically worked through the holidays. Like I had to work. So I did get to sleep when I got to bed. I slept. So I'm feeling like all of that energy is like, I'm sort of curious about it, and it also makes me want to come back to home. So I'm going to probably do the unexpected here and bring us all back to home for the readings for like the first week or, you know, first 10 days or so of January, and do maybe just a general reading for all of us. I'll probably pop in with maybe something else later, but I'll still do the dailies every day. But maybe I'll do like a week-long thing instead of doing all the astrological signs. So we're sort of, I feel like we just all need to give ourselves a big hug here that we got through 2016. And, you know, let's move into 2017, at least on my channel here, with a big hug and do a nice general reading. But for now, let's finish the daily reading and see what kind of energy sums up the Queen of Wands, the being honest with yourself, the Emperor, and the 10 of Emotion, the 10 of Hearts, the 10 of Cups, the 10 of Water, the 10 of Summer, depending on which deck you have. All right, let's get one more card for the day. Oh, this is nice. So this, I think I said something about the Capricorn thing, and this is what came up in the Capricorn happy birthday video. So I had to do that during a snow day, by the way. The only reason I got to do that is because I was snowed in. So maybe it has to do with snow or starting with a clean slate. You know, I always feel like snow is just quiet and serene and calm and refreshing and, like, I don't know, just pure, you know. So this is also finding a way to see eye to eye, you know, to see a certain perspective. You know, there's like the older energy here, the wise energy that's been through stuff, that's had experience, that's seen things. And then this young, fresh, vibrant energy that wants to explore, that wants to do something, that wants to feel alive and see things that are new. And there's always a way to come together and see eye to eye, to see in the middle, you know, to see that even perspective, to come together. There's always a point where this person's going to be here and this person was here. And somehow, you know, you're always here, but you feel like you're either sometimes too old for this shit, or like we're, you know, fresh and young and like, wow, this is new and I'm ready to do it again and start over and, you know, be reborn, you know, see something totally different. So, it's also a 4. How did I just notice that? It's also a 4. So we have, you know, finding that place that you can meet in the middle, even between your masculine and your feminine, your old ass and your new ass coming through here, you know, your new eyes, your new perspective. So number 4, I also see the fresh, leaves here, like the fresh nature, like spring. And then I see like the fall, you know, the natural aging that we all go through, the natural seasons we all go through, the natural changes we all go through, you know, the natural life we're all living, here to learn. We're here to learn, you know. So perspective and points of view. I was once like you are now. And I know that it's not easy to be calm when you found something's going on, but take your time, think a lot. Why, think of everything you've got. For you will still be here tomorrow, but your dreams may not. And that's lyrics from Father and Son Cat Stevens. There may be no right or wrong. You know, there's no, maybe it's not about being right and not about being wrong. Not black and white. Not this is this and I'm right and you did that and blah, 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 and perspective. And maybe it just is. So what can you do with what you have? And how can you make what you have better and more beautiful for everything you can be connected to or affect? Sometimes we need to cut something out and not let something negative affect us anymore. Be that emperor in charge and do what's good for you first. And sometimes you need to be in charge and reach out and reconnect to something that needs a reconnection so there can be more growth. So the view is this. There may be no right or wrong. The view is the same, but its perspective is different. Fresh ideas and experience sharing the same eyes, but a different vision. Two manifestations of the same person share a commonality, one from the fresh, eager innocence of youth and the other from the calmer, sobering maturity of experience. Both grasp the same mask in unison. Their destinies entwined and ultimately inseparable. At some point, both will see the same vision. Meeting in the middle, understanding you're exactly where you need to be now. And even things that felt weird somehow turn out to feel like a blessing, a strength. You know, it's when those unique parts of you become attributes and become your particular vibration that is unique here. So I hope this made sense. This was a long reading with a lot of energy coming through. I love you guys so much. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.